down with me? Who wants you down with me? Down with me? Hold on. I got a crowd wrapping round the whole town for me. They mama proud, got a thou in the balcony. Nah, 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 I don't hear no clown talking foul on me.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to What It All's podcast, episode 5. Here with your boy JMX and got my co-host here, Ryan. Before we get into everything, Ryan, man, how you been doing?
Man, I'm all right. I'm all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Can't really complain. Long week, a lot of exams to do this week. But I mean, yeah, it's been pretty productive so far. Got to see some really good football yesterday. But yeah. All right, yeah. So we got to see some good football last night. Talking about last night, it was a divisional game, not the most exciting game by any means necessary, but it was the Jets versus the Patriots. I'm pretty sure everybody picked the Jets to win that game besides Patriot fans. New England. The game was in New York. The Jets defeated the Patriots 24-3. Aaron Rodgers had one of his classic Aaron Rodgers type of games. Vintage Aaron Rodgers, which me and Ryan always said that never really left. The Patriots didn't really look too well, which was kind of expected. Jacoby Brissett looked like he was just trying to manage the game. Shout out to that Jets defense. They had a huge bounce back game. But yeah, I mean, the Jets pretty much dominated from start to finish in this one. Like I said, 24-3. Jacoby Brissett, he didn't have 100 yards passing. He got sacked 5 times. I mean, it was just hey man, shout out to the Jets. They got it done. Aaron Rodgers, Brees Hall, and Braylon Allen, they got a nice little 1-2 punch going. Um, but yeah, that's my take from man. The Jets handle business. One thing I will say for the Jets is that I'm not overreacting to this. I'm not sitting here and saying anything. They beat the Titans and the Patriots, so you know what I'm saying. Those are gimmies for them. But you know, next week I think they play the next week they play us, so that's gonna be another easy win in their books. But yeah, I'm not gonna overreact to the Jets a little bit. They handled their business. They did what they had to do. But Aaron Rodgers looked good.
Yeah, I got them winning the AFC East before the season even started. Um, and I don't know. After last night, I feel a little more confident in my pick. I mean, I think the only team that really has a chance is obviously Buffalo. Um, but dude, A-Rod was dealing it, like you said. Um, they kind of got everybody involved too, like Tyler Conklin, Lazard, Mike Williams finally stepped up a little bit. Yeah, I mean Garrett Wilson. I know you saw that crazy like pass that was like, dude. If it was anybody
He was
besides
40.
Rodgers, it would have been a pick six the other way. And I think they even said that on the game. It was like fingertips, and
Yeah, I don't think another quarterback in the history of the game is making that pass. I'm sorry.
no, it was crazy. And it's also like he does it so effortlessly, and like I know it's just me glazing him, blah 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 blah, but like he does it so effortlessly too, where he's just like casually just like flick the wrist, boom, flick the wrist, boom, and it's like dude, like we gotta appreciate him right now while he's still playing before it gets to the point where he retires. And then it's like, man, what happened to the generation we used to watch and we loved when we
Yep.
grew up? It's like, man, appreciate him right now. I see people hating on him on Twitter and TikTok and IG and all that. And it's like, bro, like I think with him tearing his Achilles last year, people like either forgot about him or just like
Yeah,
are
I
like
don't.
clowning him for some reason. And it's like, bro, like we got like you said a vintage Aaron Rodgers game right here. Like it was perfect. Like he didn't make a mistake. But yeah, I mean, I thought they
Yeah.
played really good.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, man. Everybody, man, we gotta just kind of relax on Aaron Rodgers a little bit. This dude's 40 years old. And me and Ryan, we talked about this in our messages like a while back about how a lot of people were forgetting about how good Aaron Rodgers was. Like this man didn't just come off of two back-to-back MVP seasons. Yeah, they said he had a down year in Green Bay. I mean, it wasn't the best year, but then he got hurt. I mean, and the dude, he's showing that he ain't gone nowhere. 27 35, 281 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did play the Patriots, but the Patriots defense isn't just a cupcake. You know what I'm saying? Like they like, I mean, the defense is still kind of respectable. But I mean, look, the Jets, I still think, and I said it in my takeaways from week 2, I think they do need more weapons in order to take this team to the next level because this just seems kind of like one of those Green Bay teams again. They got the running game, they got the defense, but it's just that one receiver. It reminds me like those Devontae teams. But they're gonna need more moving forward. But I'm waiting on them to kind of play that real test. They got Minnesota week 5 and Buffalo week 6, Pittsburgh week 7. I want to see how they do in those 3 games. But Yeah, I mean, my that's Aaron Rodgers was just phenomenal. Um, Transitioning to New England, yeah, it was interesting to see Drake May go out there for a little bit. I was really kind of surprised that they threw him out there like that. But I mean, I kind of got what Joe Rob Mayo saying. They wanted him to get a little taste of some game action. Didn't really do much. He got sacked twice on eight dropbacks. So whatever. He went 4 for 8, 22 yards, and he got sacked twice. So it goes to show how much the Jets defensive line was cooking. But New England couldn't really want to run the ball, and it shows that if they can't run the ball, they're not putting up any points. Demario Douglas was their leading receiver, really the only receiver that was catching got anything. But yeah, man, not too much take away from New England. Just hey man. Oh, well, I will say Christian Gonzalez, bro, he's legit, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie, in one-on-one coverage, he's legit. He's legit as it comes in the league.
Yeah, that one pass to the touchdown to Garrett Wilson. Again, if it was anybody else, it would have been a pick six for him. But like it was perfect. Like he played perfect coverage too, and it was just sometimes like what do they say? Better offense beats the best defense or something like that. Like best great offense beats great defense sometimes all the time. Whatever.
No, it's
It's like
great defense, but better offense.
there you go. It's
Yeah.
like yeah. I don't know. I kind of do want to go back to the Jets a little bit. I thought, especially for him coming off his Achilles injury, Rodgers was moving low key. Like
Mm-hmm.
he was getting out of the pocket. He was making some crucial first down runs as well. And I do kind of think like again with the Patriots. I mean, I predicted them to be last in the division, like most people probably did, if not all. Um, I do think obviously they're like I think they're a solid like they're gonna be a tough out no matter what, no matter who they play. It's always gonna be a tough game. They like you said they got a tough defense. Um, like I don't know, like they beat the Bengals week one, and it's like people had the Bengals as like a legit contender, and then they went up against Seattle, and they almost beat them in overtime, and it's like I just don't think we can just be like, oh yeah, they just the Patriots, it's whatever. It's like I mean yeah, like they're just the Patriots, but it's also like, dude, they're tough out, they're a tough team, like. They could easily have been 2-0 if it would have went the right way in overtime for them, you know. So
Yeah. And
yeah,
and the thing is, it was really a bad call. We being completely honest. That were the reason why they lost that Seattle game. But yeah, they should be 2-1 right now. I mean, honestly. But you know, they're another trap game. Like we brought up with Arizona. Like you like they're an easy win, but you can't BS around because if that happens, bro, they can they will win that game. They're well coached, they're well disciplined. They got a physical defense. Like the defense isn't great, but it isn't like really bad. It's like above, it's the middle of the pack, but it's like the top of the middle of the pack. So like that's just kind of how I think and look about the Patriots. But I mean, overall, we're gonna see how their season goes. I don't think they're gonna. I think everybody had them finishing last. I still think. I don't know if they'll come in last. I mean, the way it's looking like for the Dolphins right now, I don't know with them moving forward. Like I know everybody, and we'll talk about them getting more to later. But it's a lot just going on in Miami right now. But yeah, moving on, we're gonna give our predictions like we usually do. If you guys haven't seen it on our pages yet, we're gonna go ahead and discuss it. So first we're gonna do the morning slate. The first game I want to get into is the Bears and the Colts. Now this game was actually tougher for me than it was for you. I'm pretty sure you picked the Colts. I went ahead and picked the wait, who did I? I want to make sure I did pick the Colts.
I think you picked the Colts. I picked the Bears.
Yeah, yeah. One second. Did I? I want to make sure real quick because I know it was very tough for me. Yeah, I
Same.
went with the Colts. I think that it's gonna be a very risky game for the Colts. Losing like they did to Green Bay. The Bears are kind of a similar team. The only thing with the Bears I will say is the offensive line is really bad. Green Bay has a pretty solid offensive line. But I think the Colts should handle their business, but they can't go up because the Bears defense is good. Like people say they want about the Bears. That Jalen Johnson, he's playing like the best corner in football. And I look, I'm a huge Pat Surtain guy. Yeah, shout out, man. The Bears defense, they got a really good defense. I think Jay, like I said, Jalen Johnson, he's playing like one of the best corners in the game right now. Probably has been the best corner so far this season. And I'm a huge Pat Surtain fan, and I'll give it to Jalen Johnson right now. That dude he's unbelievable. Like I'm not gonna lie, like he's always been good, but nobody thought Jalen Johnson was gonna be like this at this point in his career. He's the best corner in the league to me right now, and it's a very close out of him and Pat. But I'll give Jalen Johnson the edge. But the Colts got their hands full with the Bears defense. But I think the Bears offense, man, they gonna get his game away. DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart and all them, they gonna feast. And I got the Colts winning this one pretty. It'll be a little tough, but I think that second half, as the second half goes on, they'll run away with it in the fourth quarter.
I could be wrong. I think Buckner's out.
He's out.
I think so. Granted, Keenan is out as well. I picked the Bears one. I just need an upset pick, and I think out of any of them, it was like the closest I could see it going the other way. Um, I don't know. I just got a feeling that like the Bears are gonna go out there and like this is gonna be Caleb's like almost coming out game a little bit. Um, I think kind of like you said, the Bears defense is really really good, uh, and for the most part, the game between them and the Texans, like if it would have been a couple calls going towards the Bears or a couple plays going towards the Bears, I mean, they could easily have maybe snuck out of Houston with the game. I mean, I know the score doesn't really like it doesn't really show how dominant the Texans really were in that game. It was only like a 6-7 point game.
Mhm.
I just think that they come
Yeah.
into Indy and just take care of business, and it comes Caleb's coming out game is this game. I think DJ Moore goes off. I think Rome kind of starts going off. I think they get Cole Kmet, my fault. I said Kimnet. Kmet into the game plan a little bit more. I think Swift kind of feasts on the defense as well. I do think Josh Jacobs is a better running back, obviously than Swift. So like I don't think they're gonna have as much of a dominant running attack like they did, like the Packers did against the Colts. But also like they don't like the Packers had to run the ball. Like they had to run the ball. Like they were not having Malik Willis go out there last week and throw the ball. And this week, I like you can have Caleb going out there throwing the ball. You have like legit receivers. Your starting quarterback isn't hurt. I don't know. I just got a feeling that Chicago's just gonna go out there and just take care of business and just Indy's gonna start out 0-3 and Caleb's gonna kind of shut up some of the haters of like I know you saw that clip of him with CJ
Yeah.
and he just seemed very uninterested in talking to CJ, which like I don't like, as a competitor, like obviously I don't play in the damn NFL, but like when I'm playing football or like basketball, I'm not buddy with nobody. I'm not trying to be friends. I'm not trying to take advice. I'm not trying to do nothing. Like, I just lost, bro. Like I just lost a big primetime game. I just lost my first NFL game ever. It's like, bro, I'm not trying to sit here and talk with you. Granted, I understand from CJ's perspective, like he's just trying to give him like good constructive criticism, you know. But I don't know, like I got a feeling the Bears are gonna come in here and take care of business.
Yeah, with for me with that whole thing, like I think Caleb kind of saw it as, dude, me and you were just at the same level, and I was better than you in college, and now you're giving me this advice. I mean, it, it's not like a bad thing, but I understand where Caleb's coming from with it. But I mean, hey, look, I respect it. I mean, the Bears can, well, like I said, it was kind of tough for me, but I went the Colts. I think the Colts are going to play really well. They're at home. They're due for a win. And I think they can, even without the Forest, I think they can be able to generate pressure on Caleb. But it'll be interesting to see because I can see both sides of it. Really, they're both. This is a prove it game. It could be a prove it game for either one of these teams. But I'm gonna go with the Colts. They're at home. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that one.
Yeah.
Going into the next
It's the game. My fault. It's a game that, like you said, you can see it going either way. It's like I would not
either
be
way,
shocked
man.
if Indy just takes care of business and just beats them. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. I do think it's gonna be a close game though.
Yeah, but I will say one aspect when you got a guy like Jalen Johnson and bring him up again, it's hard as hell. Like it's like if you really look at the teams who got the best passing defenses, they got one of the best corners in the game. And you look at Jalen Johnson, bro, like he's shutting down the side of the field. He's taking out your best receiver. But the thing about the Colts is, I mean, he's gonna probably take out Pittman. Real stuff. Unless they line up
Yeah,
Pittman somewhere else, like he's gonna probably take him out the game.
they're gonna
So I
have they're
mean,
gonna have to line Pittman up in the slot. They're gonna
yeah, they're
have
gonna
to.
have to because Jalen is gonna you line him up outside, Jalen's gonna take him out the game. Like he's not gonna get anything. So and if you try to throw the ball, Jalen's gonna pick it. So I mean, hey man, the Colts, but I think Shane Steichen will have them ready. I think they're gonna try to really run the ball and establish that run first, pick up some easy downs, and as the game goes along, open up that playbook. But moving on to the next morning slate game, the Texans traveling to Minnesota to play the Vikings. Now this is gonna be a really good game. I think this is gonna be the game of the morning, like for the morning slate. And it's really interesting because I don't know if Jettis is gonna play. They said he avoided the final injury report. He doesn't have an injury designation, so it's looking like he's gonna play. There's still no Jordan Addison, but hey man, Stingley got his hands full. And I've been praising Stingley a little bit, but now you got Jettas. This is it. And you on the road. This is a test for the Texans. Sam Darnold's been killing it. I think the Texans defense has been playing really well. They played really well the last game. People forget that first game they were struggling. So we're gonna have to see. We're gonna really have to see. I picked the Texans though. I still think the Texans find a way to get it done on the road. I think their defense is gonna play pretty well. Minnesota, the only thing that really concerns me. Did you hear that? That the kid.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. I heard it,
All
but
right.
you fine. It wasn't like loud.
Okay, yeah, that's my nephew. My fault. Yeah. Minnesota really for me is just I don't really know, man. Like I don't know what to really take from them. They ran the ball really well last week, with what's his name, Todd Chandler, and not Aaron Jones. But I don't know, man. This week against the Texans, we're gonna have to see because I think D'Amico's really gonna try to get pressure on Sam Darnold. So I mean, I'm in Brian Flores too. I mean, you got two really good DCs, and then you also got two very good offensive coordinators. It's gonna make up for a good game. Like I said, it's my game for the morning, probably the game for the day, to be completely honest with you. But I went Texans, man. I think all in all, I think the Texans dominate. Like I think the Texans offense matches up better for the Vikings defense than it does vice versa. So I'm gonna go to Texas, man. I think this is a game where they're gonna probably struggle a little bit, but I think Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs is just gonna be too much of a matchup for those Vikings DBs at the end of the day. Tank Dell too.
Yeah, I kind of think what's gonna happen is, especially with Addison being out and like they don't got Hawkinson either. I think they're just gonna double Jefferson and go from there.
And
It's
send
like,
the hounds.
yeah, exactly. It's like we're gonna take Jefferson away and just send a bunch of pressure. And it's like Sam Darnold, you're gonna have to beat us, or that run game is gonna have to beat us. But I mean, even last week with Chicago, it's like they could not run the ball at all. Granted, I do like obviously the Vikings have a better offensive line than Chicago does, but still, like I don't know. I think the Texans gonna come in, like you said, take care of business. I think uh, exactly like you said, one of Nico, Tank, or Diggs are gonna go off. Whoever the Vikings try to like focus on, it's like, bro, like we got two other number one receivers on our team right now. It's like you can't cover everybody, and like you still got Dalton
Yeah,
Schultz. I think Joe Mixon is out for this game, but
yeah,
Cam
he
Akers when
is.
he came in, it's like he's still man, he's nice too. He's nice too. You can't sleep on him.
Yeah, I mean they don't have him or Damian Pierce. They're both out, so they're going with Cam Akers, and I don't know, man. It's This is gonna be a really good game, but I think, and I think it's said like you could say it easy. Like I forgot, I can't think of the phrase right now. I'm drawing a blank. Oh, it's easier said than done with Jettas, because I feel like that's the game plan for every game with him, and he just still finds a way. Like if I'm them, yeah, I double him, but it's not gonna matter. Kevin O'Connell's gonna scheme him open. But the main thing for them is you can't let the Vikings get off to that hot start like they do. You're gonna have to get pressure on Darnold. I mean, they can though. Like that's the thing with the Texans. You gotta unleash the hounds. I'm unleashing Al Shahir, Will Anderson, and I'm I don't want to pronounce his name wrong, but Tuoto. I think that's how you pronounce his last name, the linebacker. Like I'm sending the pressure for Sam Darnold. I'm making them try to make some mistakes with the blitzes. But yeah,
I
man, I
also
got the
think
Texans.
my fault. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You good?
I also think it being in Minnesota, I think Minnesota is probably one of the toughest places to play. I don't know. It's just
Mm,
obviously I've never played there. You know, I've never even been
yeah,
there. I just think like the whole atmosphere and like how loud it is.
it's loud.
Um, dude, like I think it's like that is an aspect of. I mean, I think going to any home field, it's like when the Chargers come to Pittsburgh, it's like the stadium's gonna be loud. Like I think Minnesota is like I don't know why I just get the vibe that it's like extremely loud. It's like the fans are extremely passionate. It's like I do think that is gonna have something to do with it. Grant, I still got the Texans coming in and taking care of business and doing whatever they gotta do. But like also like you said, like it is easier said than done. Just to like everyone's just trying to take Jefferson out of the game and double him. I just can't like they have no other receiving threat at all besides
Yeah,
Jefferson.
Addison's out, man.
Yeah, and Hawkinson is out. I think what isn't KJ Osborne in New England now? I think
Yeah,
so.
KJ
It's
not
like,
it. Wait, is he in? Yeah, KJ's in. I forgot he was in New England.
he didn't. I don't even think
Yeah,
he played last year.
yeah. I'm
Last
what?
game, my fault. Yeah, he's in New
Yeah,
England.
no, that's
Actually, my fault.
crazy.
He did play. Did he? Man,
Is he?
he didn't even get a target last night. I
Yeah,
know, right?
I mean, yeah, he's got 4 catches on the year, 28 yards. It's kind of crazy.
Man, trade him to Pittsburgh.
But yeah, man. Who'd you pick?
I got Houston.
You got Houston. Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, that's gonna wrap that up. We both got Houston. Moving on to the it's gonna be, I think, the worst game on this morning slate. Broncos travel to Tampa. I want to get this out the way early, talk about this kind of briefly. Yeah, so the Broncos they go into Tampa playing the morning game. Tampa's red hot, 2-0, coming off 2 huge wins. They beat the Commanders, beat the Lions, and Detroit got their revenge on that one. They will be without Antoine Winfield and Vita Vea and their starting right tackle. They got a lot of injuries. But I think I'm not gonna lie, man. The Broncos are coming in here. I think the only guys out is McGlinchey. We got a really good, clean. A lot of guys are coming back. No, JL Skinner is out, but everybody else, we're getting a lot of starters back. Baron Browning's out, but it's nothing too crazy on our side of it. I got the Buccaneers killing us. I think on my Broncos paw, shout out to Broncos Avenue too. We got them. I think I picked them to win 31-13, Tampa. So yeah, I'm sorry, man, but until I see some changes, we're gonna get thrashed. And I think this is gonna be the game where our defense kind of lets up a little bit because we're gonna be on the field so much, and this is the first offense we're playing that's gonna be really, really, really that can really put points up on the board. Tampa 6.5. I mean, the Tampa's are 6 point favorites. I feel like that was very generous. I would have gave them probably like 9.5, something like that.
Yeah, I got Tampa winning. Not really much to say about it. Only question I got again. I think Mike Evans gonna go off. I think Baker's gonna go off. I think the defense is gonna take care of business for Tampa. For the Broncos, at what point do you think, like, do you think it would ever be beneficial to like, hey Knicks, like, we're gonna pull you. We're gonna have Zach or Stidham come in. Like, do you think there's like that would ever be beneficial for him, or do you think at this point, like, if they bench him, it would just like ruin his confidence?
I think you got to ride it out with him. You made him the starter, and you're failing him. So I think benching him is going to kill his confidence. I think that right now, you showing that we're not even close to benching you. I mean, because if you watch Patriots to the games, it's not Knicks, man. Like, I mean, Knicks isn't playing great, but he's a rookie. He's not going to be perfect. But the interceptions are from him literally trying to just make a play out of something. So I mean, just me personally, I'm not pulling them. I think you got to do better job of game planning, putting guys in there that can elevate this offense, playing Marvin Mims, playing Troy Franklin like I've been preaching. Like I preached last episode too, but nah, I don't think pulling him, man, that just gonna hurt him. Like, because you're gonna end up putting him back in there at some point in the season. You see what I'm saying? Like, and when we're playing bad, everyone's gonna say, "Well, put in Bo's better," and it's like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't really do anything. Like, he's not the problem. So I say
Yeah,
keep him in there.
I had an argument with a couple people on Instagram about it, and they were telling me they were like, "No, bro, we gotta see what Zach Wilson or Stidham is gonna do for the offense." It's like, again, like you said, I don't think Knicks is the problem. Granted, he's not helping everything to the extreme, but like, I kind of again with like obviously Knicks was labeled as like the maybe besides Caleb, the most pro-ready quarterback coming out of the draft. Um, I don't know. I just kind of wonder at what point is it like just in general, not just with the Broncos. Is it like, hey, like let's let this guy sit, kind of like the Patriots are doing a little bit with May, and like I think the Vikings are. I don't think the Vikings planned on like Darnold's playing the whole year, but with McCarthy being out the whole year, it's like they have to. I think that injury is going to be beneficial for him in the long run of like next season, 2 seasons from now. McCarthy's going to come in and like be more pro ready because like that's something I've never understood with like the whole label of like, oh yeah, he's the most pro ready quarterback. It's like, bro, like, but he's not a pro yet. He hasn't played in the NFL yet. He hasn't played an NFL game yet. So like, how do you know this guy is pro ready? Is it because he's had all this experience in college? Well, obviously, college like doesn't translate completely to the NFL. It's like you do kind of have to. You have to give the guys time to develop, and like it's again, you see the like the Bears, the Commanders, the Patriots, the Vikings, the Broncos, where like all these people like they need quarterbacks, but it's like they're rushing people in so quick, and they want to label somebody a bust so quick.
Yeah,
Like I don't think Bryce Young is amazingly great, but like, I also don't think he's like the only problem
yeah,
in Carolina, and
yeah,
they just gave up on him like that. It's like,
yeah. I
bro,
mean, and that's why I say I think confidence is key because you draft Bo at 12, man, he's the guy. And I think pulling him, like you look at Bryce, he don't even want to be in Carolina no more. They gave up on him. They didn't give him anything and then gave up on him. And that's just kind of what it is. And I think with Bo, you benching a quarterback is putting the blame on him. I mean, it is like, because what are you gonna say? Like, you felt like he wasn't doing enough that position, but we need to put someone else in. That's what benching is. You see what I'm saying? So, like, I don't think pulling him unless he does something that is absolutely where like, okay, bro, you got to go sit down. Like, I just feel like us losing. I mean, bro, the receivers aren't getting like you see what I'm saying? Like, is he out of all the rookie quarterbacks like that's playing? Bo has the worst situation. And to be honest, it was almost like going into it. I felt like he had arguably the best coaching wise in terms of a guy mentoring him. Well, Sean didn't went to shit because I don't know what the hell is going on over there. But yeah, man. All in all, I got the until I see some change, I got the Bucks winning this one pretty convincingly. I don't think the Broncos are gonna do too much unless a miracle happens. Um, but yeah, moving on to the next game of the morning slate. And I'm gonna talk about this briefly too, because I don't know how good this game is gonna be. Green Bay is traveling to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Green Bay is 1-1. Tennessee has yet to win a game, and that's been kind of on both games. You can probably put on Will Levis for his shenanigans. I'll say. Um, me personally, I picked Tennessee to win this game. I think I think their defense is good. Their defense is, I think, the number one defense in football right now, if I'm not mistaken. I think, or they're number one in some category. I can't remember if it's total or if it's like against the pass. It's something that they're first in. Um, and I just think right now, everybody knows Green Bay. They're just gonna run the ball. You see what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows that their game plan is just gonna be to feed Josh Jacobs and get kind of creative with the run game. Yeah, total defense. Yeah, Tennessee has the number one total defense in the league. I have Tennessee winning this game. I think Will Levis is gonna be tough for their offense a little bit, but I think Calvin Ridley, Tony Pollard ran the ball good last game. I think they're just gonna kind of wear out Green Bay's defense as the game goes along. They're gonna win an ugly win. I'll say like 23, maybe 23-16. I got Tennessee.
yeah, I picked the Packers to win.
Mhm.
Um, I don't think Love is gonna play. I'm not saying he is. I think he's still like questionable to possibly play. It's
I
like
don't know
that in
why.
general is just it's crazy, dude. Rest the guy. Let him chill for like a week, or give him another week or 2 or 3 weeks. Like let him like fully heal because you're gonna need him in the playoffs. Like he's your starter. You're not gonna go into the playoffs with Malik Willis and be fine. It's like I don't know, but I picked the Packers. I think Will Levis is just gonna make a bad decision, and it's gonna cost him the game, like it has literally every other like the last 2 games. He's made a bad decision in both games that has costed them both games. I think the Packers defense is arguably like the second best defense they've played. If you want, if you want to go with Packers over Chicago, it's up to you. I think the Jets is the best defense they've played.
They play some good defenses, and
Mm-hmm.
it's. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it's not like they haven't put up points. Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, hey, look, credit to. I will say this: they're not. It's just simple mistakes that's killing them. But I think they'll beat Green Bay. I mean, I just ain't no way they put Jordan Love back out there. It's just no way they put Jordan Love back out there, bro. Like we're talking about a guy who has an MCL sprain coming back in 2 weeks. If he's your franchise guy, don't do it to him like that. That's messed up.
Yeah, like exactly like you said. Don't rush the bro back just to like squeeze out a game against Tennessee in week 3. It's like just
Come on, man.
like I think no matter what, it's gonna be a competitive game. Literally because, and I'm not trying to hate him, bro. I just think Will Levis is gonna make a bad decision. I'm also bold prediction. I think Malik Willis is gonna go crazy on his old team. I would just like to see it. So that's why another reason I picked the Packers. I just think their defense is gonna play good enough, and it's gonna be a revenge game for Malik Willis. And I just wanted to be bold and say it. So
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't think that's gonna happen, but it would be cool to see if he would deal on them. Moving on to the next morning slate game. We're gonna talk about this in real briefly because I'm pretty sure you picked them too. The Browns, the Giants are traveling to Cleveland to play the Browns. I got the Browns winning this game. Just that's just it. I don't really want to take a deep dive into it. Miles Garrett is gonna kill him. Daniel Jones. That Browns defense is gonna feast. I'm starting them in my fantasy leagues. They're gonna kill him. So I'm going with unless Deshaun Watson just has a career horrible day and starts turning the ball over left and right. I think the Browns win this one pretty easily.
yeah, I can't see any way that the Browns lose. Um, like at all, actually. Like I can't. Um, yeah, I got the Browns. That's it.
Moving on to the next morning game. Now, this one has the potential to be the game of the morning, but I'm gonna still go that Texans one. The Eagles and the Saints. Now, I actually don't know who you picked for this one. I can't remember, but Eagles traveling to New Orleans. The Eagles are 1-1. The Saints are undefeated, arguably the hottest team in the league right now. They're to me the best team in the league right now from both sides of the ball. What they're doing offensively and defensively, I think they do have the best secondary in the league in terms of like cornerback depth, safeties. They got four cornerback. Like they have four really good corners. Lattimore, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Adebo, and Alontae Taylor, and Tyrann Mathieu, and I can't remember who their other safety is, but I mean,
Yeah, so you say
they're
Honey
loaded.
Badger?
You said what?
Did you say Honey Badger?
Yeah. Tyrann Mathieu, and I'm trying to think. I can't remember who the other one is on the opposite side. Let me see. I actually don't know who it is. Is it? I don't know who it is, but anyways, me personally, I picked the Saints. I did not like what I saw from Philly in the loss against Atlanta. I think their defense is. I don't think their defense is very good. I think their secondary. I think Darius Slay. No disrespect to him, but you can see we kind of saw the signs of decline last year with him, and it's translating to this year. He's just not the same. I mean, it's normal. Like he's getting up there in age. You know what I'm saying? So um I think they're gonna have their hands full. I think especially with AJ Brown being out, they're just gonna double Devontae and how good their secondary is. They're not gonna worry about Jahan Dotson and anyone else they have to offer out there. Dallas Goedert, they're not worried about that. I think they're gonna go into this game and just focus on primarily stopping the run, and then on the other side of it, they're gonna run the hell out the ball with Kamara and Taysom Hill and whoever else they in Jamal Williams. They're gonna run the hell out the ball, and Carr's is gonna take whatever's left to give. Bless you. And they're gonna take away pretty much
Thank you.
everything from them. Yeah, they're gonna take away everything from them. But I got the Saints winning this one, man, and I got them winning this one, not in insanely fashion, but I think they're gonna win this one pretty convincingly.
Yeah, I got New Orleans as well. Um, yeah, I think especially with AJ Brown being out, it's like I don't know. Like I think the Saints as of right now are obviously like I think the Saints might be playing, and I'm sure like if you just want to say these last 2 weeks, I think the Saints are playing the best ball out of any team.
Yep.
I think their offensive line is the best offensive line in football from these last 2 weeks. Um, yeah, dude. Like I wanted to pick Philly just to like be different, you
You
know.
picked Philly.
But like I can't like I don't know. I just can't see that. Like obviously I can see a world where they win, you know, because they almost beat Atlanta last week. But the way the Saints are, the way the Saints have been playing, I don't know. And the way the Eagles have been playing, like they should have lost. If we being real, they should have lost the game against Green Bay. The way that they were playing, like they were almost trying to give Green Bay the game, and then Green Bay was almost trying to give them the game, and they obviously did. But like last week, like they, dude, like, yeah, we didn't even do a podcast for that game, dude. Like, it, I, I
It's
think
the
I said
defense,
last
bro.
week I was going against somebody. I had nobody left in fantasy, and he had Bijan and Kyle Pitts, and it was like I was up by like 2 points, and if Saquon caught that ball and
Oh
like
wow.
got the first down, like I was straight. I mean, I won anyway. Like, but I was stressing for no reason, and it's like, dude, that was such a bad drop. Like, and like I'm in support of the play call of in that situation. It's like, hey Jalen, if nobody's open, just sit down, take the sack, run the 40 seconds off the clock, and kick the field goal. So like I was in support of it, and the play was open. Like it was good. Eagles should have won, and they would have came in the game 2-0. But like they should realistically, if we being real, be 0-2 right now. It's like they haven't been playing good football, and like I do kind of wonder eventually when the team is going to start turning on Sirianni. I just don't think he like I think he's a solid okay coach, but he just makes some dumb decisions where it's like you can't defend it. Like how do you lose that game against Atlanta? Like you were
Yeah,
in the prime position to win it. My fault.
no, you good. Yeah, I think that a lot of it has to do with you see the absence of what AJ Brown is. They're not the same offensive team. Not saying Devontae Smith is bad, but it's just the game plan of it. It's just we're gonna take away Smith, and they didn't really take him away. Like Atlanta didn't really like their defense should be kind of better than what it is. Not saying they had a bad game, but like Devontae still has 76 yards and a touchdown, but everybody else was taken away. But they ran the ball really well against the Saints. I'm not gonna lie. Demario from guys like Demario Davis, Pete Werner, Cam Jordan, Payne Turner, Brian Breesy, Chase Young. They're not gonna give you like you're not just gonna feast on them. I'm sorry. Like they're gonna stack the box and I'm telling you, they're gonna put Lattimore on Smith. They're gonna rotate those corners on them. You're not getting anything in the slot because they got Alontae Taylor there. They gonna probably blitz a lot. They gonna throw a lot of packages at him, man. And Dennis Allen versus Kellen Moore. Oh Lord, that matchup has not gone well for Kellen Moore in the past. And just speaking of the other way around, like I think the Saints can dominate this game on both sides of the ball. I just don't see Philly. Philly's pass rush is non-existent. We saw Kirk Cousins have all day. Now, what you think Derek Carr about to have? Unless
It's
Philly
also
dials
in
up
New Orleans.
some
My fault.
yeah, nah, unless Philly dials up some blitzes, man. Carr finna have all day to throw. And that's just kind of what it is. Carr is finna have all day to throw, and Olave, and I don't think they have anybody that can check Rashid Shaheed in the slot. That's just me. I don't think they have nobody to check him there.
Man, put Cooper DeJean on him. He should be straight.
Come on, man. No, nah,
Nah,
nah. I
it's
ain't gonna lie, but yeah, nah.
yeah.
I'm
I
not
got
gonna
New
lie,
Orleans
man.
as well.
The Saints, they if I'm not even gonna lie to you, man, they if they beat Philly convincingly, this conversation got to be had about the Saints. Like I'm being real. If they go into this game and it's in New Orleans and they beat them convincingly, like how I think they can, and I think they will. And the other starting safety is Will Harris, but hey man, they have a shot and they have Atlanta and then KC. It's some tough games, but I mean I'm not rooting against it. I'm not opposed to picking them for those games either.
Also, like it's not like the offense is like any different. Like they don't have anybody different besides a new OC. It's like they have the same team,
Yeah.
the exact same team. And again, it's only 2 weeks, so like you can overreact to anything. We can overreact to the quarterback, the rookie quarterbacks being bad, certain teams being great. Um, but it's like exactly like you said. I think that if they come in here and beat Philly, it's like yeah, the conversation has to be had a little bit of like, man, the Saints might be like legit.
Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, and I don't see why they couldn't. Like, Philly, the Saints. I mean, hey, look, I don't know, man. We'll see, but I'm picking the Saints convincingly. Don't anybody be surprised if Philly goes in there and they shit the bed. Like, I think it's still going. I'm not saying it's an easy task to stop that offense from running the football, but I mean that's the only objective you need when you're that talented on the back end. Like, but yeah, moving on to the next. I think this is the final game of the morning slate. Your squad. Chargers are going to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Both teams are 2-0. Someone has to lose. I went ahead and picked the Chargers. I might have to rethink that because Justin Herbert, I don't know what he's a game time decision. So we'll see how that goes. I think I don't know if he'll play. If he doesn't play, obviously I'm going with the Steelers. But we don't really know for sure. But yeah, I'm going. If he does play, I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I just think the Chargers, for the simple fact is, they can put up more points than Pittsburgh. That's just it. Like, I think they're both really good defensive teams. It's gonna come down to who's the better offensive team, and I think that's the Chargers.
Yeah, I think this game is gonna be obviously I got Pittsburgh. I think the game is gonna be very, very, very tough. It's just gonna be run the ball down your throat, play defense, the occasional pass play here and there. Um, I do. I think Roman Wilson for the Steelers is gonna. I think that he's back. I think this is gonna be his first game. I'm excited to see what he does a little bit. It'd be like maybe he can step up and be that wide receiver too that Pittsburgh really needs. Exactly like you said with Herbert. I think it's a high ankle sprain. I think.
Yeah. It's a yeah. They diagnosed him with a high ankle sprain,
Hmm.
so that's hard. Like, that's a hard one. So I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, his mobility is gonna be limited. I think TJ. I really want to see how TJ and Joe Alt like that matchup because I've been seeing people on Twitter all the whole time. You know that one meme with like the Grim Reaper
Yeah,
and they go into people's door and it was Max Crosby first. I think it was Clowney second and now it's TJ. I like. I just want to see what he does. I gotta see how
yeah,
he does.
yeah. But isn't Joe a left tackle?
I don't know. People are talking
Yeah, no,
about TJ
yeah,
versus Alt.
no. Yeah, no, I don't think he's gonna line up on them because I think because Alt's left tackle and TJ usually goes against right tackles, but he's gonna be on Highsmith though. But yeah,
Even better.
I know why everybody just saying that because it is kind of a matchup, but he's not even gonna be lined up against them. Moving on into the afternoon slate, I want to start with this game, kind of keep it briefly. The Raiders and the Panthers. Carolina's 0-2, traveling to Vegas to play the Raiders, who are 1-1. I think everybody's picking the Raiders to win this one. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy game. I'm picking the Raiders. I think Andy Dalton, you might see a little bit of rejuvenation in the offense, just a little bit, because I feel like when the team has nothing, it's Carolina. You get a change there. I don't think it was a deserved. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you should have had to stick with Bryce, but I think Andy Dalton might put up a little points on the board, but I'm still taking the Raiders in this one. I'm sorry, but Devontae is gonna cook. Brock, I feel like they're gonna win this game pretty convincingly, pretty easily. And they're at home, so yeah, I'm going to Raiders.
Yeah, I don't know why I really wanted to go with the Panthers just to be different, and like I don't know why I just got like a weird feeling that like
The Red
An-
Rocket.
yeah Andy Dalton's gonna come out there slinging it, and it's gonna be that one game where it's like, oh my god, did they make the right decision of benching Bryce Young, and then like next week they're gonna get like destroyed. I don't know. I really almost went Carolina. But like I mean, I'm obviously gonna go with the Raiders, especially them being at home and actually have a good offense, like competent offense. But like I don't know, I almost went with them of like they're coming off the high of beating Baltimore and like Panthers are coming off the lowest of lows in the whole NFL. Of like you just benched your franchise quarterback in week
In
two.
year two.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I just got like a very, very, very weird feeling that the Panthers are just gonna come out and Andy Dalton is just gonna do what he has to do and they're gonna win. But with that
Yeah.
being said, I went with the Raiders.
All of that, and he going with the Raiders. All right, man. Moving on to the second game, we're going to talk about an afternoon slate. The 49ers are going to LA divisional game to play the Rams. Now, both teams are insanely injured. No Cooper Kupp, no Puka Nakua, no Debo, no George Kittle, no Christian McCaffrey, no Jonah Jackson for the Rams too. Yeah, Jonah Jackson. It's a lot of injuries to go around for both teams. With that being said, I went ahead. I picked San Francisco. Now, it's the Rams do have their number. I would not be surprised if the Rams still find a way to win this game with Demarcus Robinson as their wide receiver one, because that's just the type of dude Stafford is. But I'm gonna go with the Niners, man. I honestly they're 6.5 point favorites. I think the Rams just have way too many injuries. Like I feel like this isn't just a game where Cooper Kupp is out. I mean, you are out your wide receiver one and two. I mean, you're out practically a lot of your starting offensive line. And you're playing San Francisco. It's just I don't know. In San Francisco, I mean, they don't have Debo, Kittle, or McCaffrey, but they still have Ayuk and they still got Jordan Mason, and their line is still relatively healthy. And who else was there? Oh, and yeah, and they still have Jawan Jennings. So I think it's gonna be. I think the Rams are still gonna find a way to put up some points. They still got Kyron Williams and they still got Matthew Stafford. They're gonna find a way to put up some points. But I went ahead with the 49ers in this one pretty kind of convincingly for the first time in a while because they usually don't beat the Rams convincingly.
I also think I think I saw something that Bosa is also questionable. It's like that just again, like you said, adds on to a
Yeah.
whole nother list of superstars that are going to be out of this game.
Yep.
I think
Him
the
and Charvarius. I didn't mean to cut you
is
off,
he
but yeah.
is he
Yeah.
also?
No, him and Charvarius are both questionable.
Hmm. I don't know. I think this is one of those games where it's like for Purdy's standpoint, it's like is he a guy? Like is he like a legit like I think Purdy's solid. I think he's a good quarterback. But I think this is the type of game or like last week where it's like your superstars are out. Kittle got hurt, even though I think he came back. CMC was obviously out. I think Debo was out or got hurt last week as well. And obviously, like you said, you're missing all three of them for this game. This is the game where like Purdy's got to kind of prove like yeah, like I'm a legit guy and my weapons don't completely just make me and I deserve this bag I'm about to get in the off season. It's like because I think that's what everybody says is like Purdy's just a system guy and he's just a product of the system, and that he just benefits from having elite talent around him, which I think any quarterback most likely would. But yeah, I don't know. I just think this is one of those games that Purdy really got to prove himself of like, man, do you deserve the bag or not? Like the complete bag or not?
Yeah, I agree. But I think he'll take care of business. I think I think they'll win this game. And I think they're gonna probably win. I mean, I don't know. They still got Jordan Mason, man. I feel like in Ayuk, so there is still some. Jawan Jennings is still there. I think Brock still has enough weapons to get it done.
You also still
But
got
yeah,
use
moving
check
on
too.
to
Use check's important in that game in their
yeah,
offense as
yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. He's gonna be huge too. Yeah, he's gonna be huge too because Kyle's gonna have him kind of lined up. I want to see where they're gonna put him. They might put him in the slot a little bit too because I've seen him do that before. But moving on to this next game, I do want to talk about it a little bit briefly. Don't want to give it too much of a deep dive into it. The Dolphins are going to Seattle, and Skylar Thompson is getting ready to play. I think everybody's gonna go with this. I'm taking Seattle on this one. I took Seattle. Um, I hope I took I took Seattle in this one. I just think, man, it's one of those games where Skylar Thompson is in for a day of hell. Seattle's defense is finna get after him. It's in Seattle. I really don't want to start Tyreek, but I'm not gonna bench him. You know what I'm saying? I can't bench him, but yeah, I think Seattle's gonna win this game pretty easily. It just sucks for the Dolphins right now. I mean, it really does. You got this really good team, and then Tua goes down, and it's really tough. But I mean, Skylar Thompson, I just don't know uh what's his name? What's the coach name? Mike McDaniel sees in Skylar Thompson. I don't know why they brought him back. I mean, I ain't even trying to just talk down on the guy, but that's just me. Like I mean, and I think a lot of it has to do with him wearing number 19. I just really hate that. Like I hate that. Like you couldn't have picked a better number. Like, I mean, the last time he played, didn't he wear nine? Didn't he wore another like insane number, right? You know what I mean? You don't know. Like I just know he
I don't
just
know
I
why
don't know,
number
man.
13 coming to my mind somehow. Let me
Like
look.
no, it was. I think it might have been 19. I just hate that, but that's just me being me. But I mean, Skylar Thompson, man, he's. I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
the
number
because
19.
yeah, because Mike McDonald is about to unleash the hounds on him in this game, man.
Yeah, I also got Seattle as well. I'm excited to see how that DK Jalen Ramsey matchup gonna look. Um, they always play each other very very tough. Um, yeah, I mean, I think they signed Snoop Huntley to the either the team or their practice squad. The Dolphins did. So I
Yeah,
wonder, yeah. So I wonder if he's gonna be like a um, almost like another backup plan. I think like we were talking about either before the pod or during the pod or something like that. Uh, the rumors of Bryce getting traded to Miami.
yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like it. I think Tua is gonna retire. I think he should retire. Um, I'm sorry. It's just so funny because I was looking up to see if Tyler Huntley was playing, and I see Dolphins signed Pro Bowl quarterback Tyler Huntley. To me, that is just so.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
still can't
I
believe he
think he
made
was
a
like the
Pro Bowl.
fifth or sixth option, and
Yeah, like
I remember when it was Kenny's rookie season, bro. I was pissed. I was like, man, how did Kenny Pickett not make it and Tyler
bro.
Huntley
Yeah,
did?
and yeah, because he made it over Russell Wilson too. His first year in Denver, like they played Tyler Huntley. That was funny, but yeah. If Bryce does get traded, I think in the way Tua is going, I feel like that's an obvious one for sure, for sure. But yeah, I mean, you just got to feel for Miami right now. I mean, it really does suck. Like, it sucks, man. Because if Tua decides to retire, which I think he will, and I think he should, like, what do you do? Like, I mean, real, like honestly, like, what do you do? Like, how do you just? I mean, I don't know, but I mean, Bryce would be on the table, but yeah,
Yeah, I kind
I
of
got
think.
Seattle win this one pretty convincingly. I think they win this one by at least two possessions. Going on to probably the game of the day. Baltimore 0-2 heading to Dallas. I gotta hear your thoughts on this one. Me personally, I did go with the Ravens. I think the Ravens, they just gonna run the ball a lot. I know Dallas, main. I don't know. Everybody's saying they're gonna run the ball over Dallas and kill them, but I feel like Dallas is gonna know, like, no, like we're gonna stack the hell out that box and we gonna make you try to beat us with Zay Flowers. But and the receivers that they have, but I pick Baltimore in games like this, man. I'm going with the better quarterback and I'm going with the better coach, and I'm taking the Ravens.
Yeah, I wanted to go Dallas just because I don't like the Ravens, but I had to go with Baltimore. I think if they start 0-3, like the season is like I'm not gonna say it's done, but like
Oh, it's not.
dude,
It's not.
like you
And
0-3 and you were the favorite by I know for at least for us. Like I had the Ravens one as well. Like I know you did too for your one seed in the AFC, and you going 0-3, and next week you got to go play Buffalo. I think in Buffalo, it's like that could easily be a 0-4 start. You know, no, my fault. It's in
yeah,
Baltimore,
like
but that could
yeah, like
easily
I'm
be an
not gonna
0-4 start.
yeah, but here's the but. They do have about five, maybe six, 7 games after that where they can go on a crazy win streak. And I think that's the thing. We're early in the season. You got a team like Baltimore. After this, so you got Dallas, Buffalo, then you got Cincy. And yeah, they have a chance to start off on 5, but Commanders, Buccaneers, you got the Browns, Broncos, Bengals, Steelers. I mean, these are some games you could win here, but definitely you have to win this game. I believe if you start off 0-3, you do. It's not good to start off 0-3, let alone 0-4. I think the Texans are like the only team to ever start off 0-4 and make the playoffs or something like that. I can't remember when they had Deshaun, but I'm never gonna rule them out. But I I think they win this game, man. I just don't see Dallas going out there unless the Ravens defense is really that bad, just hooping on them. I just, like I said, I'm gonna take the better coach and the better quarterback. I think they find a way to get it done. And that's it, man. I mean, I just think they find a way to get it done. I think they're both gonna probably put up a lot of points. Like I could definitely see this game ending like 31-20 something. You know what I'm saying? Like 30-20 something. But I'm taking Lamar, man, because the Ravens, they're 0-2, but Lamar knows how to win. And Lamar knows how to beat a team like Dallas. He knows what he's gonna have to do. He knows that, and I think time of possession is gonna be really key in this game. Really key in this game. And I think one thing about the Ravens, they do always dominate time of possession. And I think if the more you get Dak Prescott sitting on that sideline, the worse he becomes. And that's just the main thing with Dallas. You get him on that sideline and Dak doesn't come in after a while. That's when you see Dak's true colors. So I'm going Baltimore, man.
I'm also going Baltimore as well. I do.
Mm.
I agree with most of what you said. Um, I do just worry about the offensive line. Like I keep saying it, but like it's still a problem. I really worry about
It
it. And if
is.
they go 0-3, again, it could easily be a 0-4 next week, and then it could possibly be an 0-5 next the following week. Obviously, that's just projecting right now. But one question I got for you is who, and I think you kind of answered it. Between Cincy and Baltimore, who are you more worried about right now?
Baltimore. If I had to pick one, because Cincy, you kind of expect this. See what I'm saying? Baltimore, you don't. And I think Cincinnati, they have a very favorable schedule. They have 3 easy wins in their next 5 games: Commanders, Panthers, and the Giants. That's gonna put them kind of back on track a little bit. But and then they got the Raiders, and it gets a little tough there. We'll see. I don't looking at it right now, I don't know if they're gonna end up making the playoffs. Just looking at how brutal their schedule kind of is, but you never know with Joe. But you kind of expect this from the Bengals a little bit. Like I had them making the playoffs as a wild card, and that's around winning 9-10 games. But Baltimore, man, I'm a little bit more worried because they usually only lose like 4 or 5 games, 4 games, 3, 4 games in the season. They've already dropped 2. And it's like, damn, like they're not gonna obviously have the season that we thought, but I still think they're gonna probably be a top 3 seed in the conference when it's all said and done. The offensive line does concern me, but Harbaugh kind of did bring up a good point. I think they're gonna have to continue to play. And they're I don't know. I just really trust Lamar enough that he's gonna win games because that's what he's done ever since he got into the league. No matter what the team has been around him, yeah, they've had some good defenses, but no matter what the offense has been around him, he still found a way to get it done. And I think it's gonna start this week, man. I just don't see a scenario where Dallas actually beats Baltimore. Like, I'm not saying it can't happen, but Dak is going to have to play excellent. Because if you mess up anything, the Ravens, if they turn it over early, Baltimore's gonna win this game. Like it's
So,
just like that.
so with the question of, because you just said like you got faith in Lamar, but then you also pick Baltimore as who you're more worried about. Like I agree with you. I think I'm more worried about Baltimore as well. I think with Baltimore they start out really. They usually typically start out really hot, and
Yeah.
then towards the end of the season they kind of just like not fall off, but kind of taper off a little bit. I'm not manifesting or hoping anything. It seems like a trend has always been with Baltimore. They start out really strong, and then like around like week 10, 11, 12, Lamar gets banged up a little bit, and they bring in the backup, and the backup is like all right, but they lose some games, and then they sneak into the playoffs. Besides last
Yeah.
year, but like Cincinnati's always started off kind of slow.
Mm-hmm.
And has always kind of picked it up towards the end of the season. Granted, I hope both of
Yeah.
them go 0-17, but yeah, I don't know. But like I do agree with you. Like I understand your point of like you're more worried about Baltimore, but you do also have faith in Lamar and because Lamar is Lamar. There's only one of them in the
Yeah,
league.
nah, he's gonna always the thing why I said that too is just because like you said, like this is what the Bengals do. Like you see what I'm saying? That's why I'm not really too much worried about them. Like, I mean, looking at their schedule, it is a little bit concerning, but in the back of my head, I'm like, this is what they do. They're gonna eventually start clicking. And I mean, they went toe to toe with KC. I mean, that's just kind of is what it is. But Baltimore, I am a little worried, but I still got faith in Lamar and Harbaugh, man. Like those dudes win in this league. Like they just haven't won the big game yet together, but they win in this league, and that's just what it is. And they may not win, they may not be the 1 seed, but they gonna for sure make the playoffs. And yeah, for sure, for sure. But yeah, moving on to I think that's it for that's it for no. I'm
Lions,
sorry. Got one
Arizona.
more game for the afternoon slate. The Lions and the Cardinals. Now I'm really interested to hear what you got to say about this one. No, this one took me. This was my longest like debate out of like all the games of like I'm like, bro, I don't know who the hell's gonna win this game, bro. Like I was looking at because I'm like, I don't know who's gonna win this game. I ended up going Detroit just to be safe because I didn't want to pick. Oh my god, you know how close I was to picking the Cardinals because the Cardinals, like we said, they're a trap game, but they're also a team that's gonna either play extraordinary, like really well, they're gonna shit the bed. They're both 1-1. The Lions are on the road in Arizona. Um, but they are favored to win the game by 3 points. The line is at -3, but Goff has not had a good start to the season. Like two interceptions, he got one touchdown, 3 picks. But I mean, he has played two really good teams. Well, I say the Rams were kind of, but at the time the Rams started out the season, they were a really good team. But yeah,
I got the Lions over the Cardinals. I almost went with the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are definitely surprised people last week. I think Marv doing what he did last week kind of shows we're legit. Like he's like a legit guy, and kind of like we were saying last episode with James Conner, it's like he's a legit top 10 back. He's always consistent. He's always a bruiser. He's always there for you when you need him.
like bro, it's crazy.
But yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I wanted to go Arizona
It's
just to
tough.
be.
You feel me?
Yeah. I don't know.
It's tough,
I went
bro.
with Detroit though. I'm gonna stick with my guns. I think I think Marvin's gonna have another great game. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like I do kind of. Yeah, it's a tough game, dude. But like
Yeah,
I don't know
like
the way they put the beat down on the Rams last week. It's like yeah, we kind of see what the Rams are now. Of like they're banged up completely, no Cup. It's really just Stafford and a bunch of 7-Eleven workers out there, and just doing their thing.
yeah,
No
yeah, and
offense, no
like
offense.
yeah, yeah, nah, and the thing is though, like a big part of it too was that their stats are kind of inflated because of that Rams game, the defensive stats, and they didn't really play anybody. So that's another reason why I win Detroit. I think Detroit's gonna win this game. I mean, look, it Arizona. I don't anybody look everybody. Don't be surprised if Arizona wins this game. Like, but also just I'm rolling with Jared Goff. And I do want to bring up this one point about Arizona, and then we can get to the Sunday night game with Kansas City and Atlanta. Kyler Murray is the most underrated quarterback in the league. That throw, did you see that? I can't remember who the touchdown. I think the touchdown was it McBride or who was that? Who caught that touchdown
I
late?
don't know. I know exactly what touchdown you're talking about on the run
That
and like swerved
bro,
in
where
between a bunch of
he
people.
that throw he did where he ran around and threw a dot. I'm talking about, and I think after the play, didn't he like look away before he did like a Steph Curry. He threw a like, come on, man. He did a Steph Curry, threw the ball, laser. I'm like, bro, Collars, and that was filthy. Like, and I would want to give him his credit though. That dude does not take sacks. And I think this is a big game because Aiden Hutchinson is coming off an insane day. So this is gonna be that's one thing I'm really looking to see how they're gonna game plan for that. But I went with the Lions, man. I just think the Lions are going to give them. It's going to be a dog fight. I think regardless, it's going to be a dog fight. I think these are two really well coached, physical teams. Like, and I think it's going to be a dog fight. But all in all, I'm taking the Lions.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I
yeah,
mean, I definitely agree. I think I'm going with the Lions as well. But exactly like you said, do not be surprised if Arizona somehow pulls out the
yeah,
dub.
bro. But yeah, moving on to the Sunday night game, Atlanta at home hosting KC. Let's not get it twisted. Kansas City's gonna win this game. I think it's gonna be more of a. I pick KC. I think it's gonna be real interesting with their secondary. This is the Jesse Bates and Justin Simmons. I think coming on game where they really show how dangerous they are as a safety tandem. They're gonna take away the deep ball. Justin Simmons is the Mahomes kryptonite. Like when he was in Denver, I always got to pick on him, and just they're an insane duo, bro. But I think all in all, Kansas City is just way better than Atlanta. I think they're gonna find ways to pick apart that defense without going even at the safeties. They're gonna hit Rasheed Rice over the middle. They're gonna. I think this is a game where you're gonna try to see them. I don't know what Kelsey's gonna do, but I have no idea what the hell is going on with that. But I think this is now. Watch it be this game where he's got Justin Simmons and Jesse Bates switching on him, and they go at Kelsey. But I think Kansas City is just a better team. I think Andy Reid is just a better coach. Um, it's prime time. We know how Kirk is on prime time, even though he is coming off a prime time win. But I just think Kansas City is gonna win this game, man.
Yeah, I agree. I think I don't know if you saw. Did you see the clip of the Falcons head coach where he was like hyping his team up and he's like, "Man, who's next?" And it was like after they beat Philly, and he was like, "Man, who the f is next?" Blah blah blah. And it's like, bro, like Mahomes is next. Like you got to play Mahomes next.
Now,
Like that's who you playing
yeah,
next. And it's like I don't know. I also think again, I got Kansas City. This is the game. This is the type of game that you brought Matthew Judon in for. I think they're either the left or the right tackle is out. I think they got benched or it's like a rookie guy now. I don't know. I could just be talking out of my ass, but they benched somebody at like towards the end of the last game against Cincy, either the left or the right tackle, and they
I
replaced him
don't
with
know.
a
I have to look
rookie.
into that.
And it's like this is the type of game that you brought Judon in for.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not gonna lie. If there's any game Kansas City can lose this season, like what I'm saying, obviously they're gonna lose some games, but I think it's definitely this one. Like you said, you brought up a good point. And one thing I didn't even touch on is Pacheco's is out. So like they're adjusting to a new run game. Um, yeah, I mean, if there's any game they can drop, it's gonna be this one. I mean, but dude, I still think they'll find a way to win. I don't think Kirk is gonna make enough plays. That's just my opinion. But I would not be surprised if Atlanta found a way to win this one, because hey man, BJ and them, they ran the ball pretty well. They can still continue to feed Drake London. They have a chance. And like you said, it really depends on the defense, man. This is why they brought in Judon. This is why they brought in Justin Simmons. They got to find a way. This is the game to prove it to everyone that that defense can be legit. And I mean, it's not like the defense has played bad through the first 2 weeks. They haven't played bad, but they haven't been great. Like the Steelers game was, they played the Steelers. You see what I'm saying? But they haven't looked great. Like they haven't looked how I thought they were. I thought they were going to look really dominant. But this is the game to, hey man, this is the game to show. These next 3 weeks are really the test to prove for your defense, because you got the Chiefs, Saints, and the Buccaneers. Them probably the three best offenses in football right now. So you got to really find a way to go and show.
yeah, yeah, especially with the game being in Atlanta. Um,
Yep.
I don't know if there's ever like Atlanta is one of those teams for me that like I really don't care about personally, but like I always root for them. I always want Atlanta to have good football. Like I like the vibe of like
Dirty
Atlanta have.
Birds.
Yeah, like it's like I just know Atlanta would be like a great city for like to have a great team in. It's like Carolina, man. No offense, who cares? You know, like Miami. Like there's so much stuff to do in Miami. It's like whatever. Like I'm not saying that fans are dedicated, but like I just feel like Atlanta is one of those places where it's like if the football is good, it's the city is just going crazy and like
It's
the
true.
whole everything's just so energetic. It's like I don't know. It's just a vibe thing for me. Again, I think the Chiefs are gonna win, but
Yep. But yeah, I think that's gonna pretty much do it for this episode, guys. We will be back with an episode. I want to see a Sunday night. Yeah, yeah, we'll figure it out. But we're gonna have an episode recapping all the Sunday night games. But that'll do it. Thanks you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to leave us a comment, leave us a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also to make sure to follow our socials. You guys already know who we are. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys all have a blessed day. To the next one. Peace out.